Hello, you awesome friends. This is your pal, Edward Deere speaking. I just want to say thank you for watching an interview with Edward. I tell you what, this series has become a global success because of your support. And we've got one of my great friends from Melbourne. He is a wonderful guy and he's got a very unique story that I want to share with you, incredible people. Now, he's actually was born in South Africa, comes from an Indian background, now lives in Melbourne. He runs an incredible global virtual staffing business. And you know what? He even has a side hustle of photography. And what I love about this guy is that he's rich and diverse and very, very successful. Devang Parikh, how are you today, Devang?
I'm good. Thank you so much for the fantastic introduction, Edward. Good to hear.
I just have to say, Devang, we're honoured to have you with us on an interview with Edward. And I just want to ask very quickly, what is it that you do and how do you add value to people and businesses' lives?
We basically help businesses hire staff in the Philippines to do admin work for them. A lot of the small businesses that we cater to business owners end up doing work on their own, weekends, after hours, or they just don't end up focusing on the actual business and get too caught up with the admin work. We help them hire staff in the Philippines. Obviously, the cost is cheaper, but more importantly, it's the efficiency that is added to the business. And that ends up bringing more value to the business. It helps them focus on the business. Yeah, and that's what we do. I've been doing that now for about 5 years.
That's incredible. And what made you get into virtual staffing, especially working with awesome Filipinos? How did that begin? And, were you just walking down the street one day in Melbourne, a tram went past and you said, okay, I'm going to go into virtual staffing in the Philippines. How did it happen?
No, actually, it was a natural progression for us because I've been running a contact center in Melbourne now for about 20 years. And we were a Melbourne-based business. But about 5 years ago, we had a client who said, "Look, can you set up something for us in the Philippines?" That's when I went and sourced something in the Philippines. Within the first few months, we sort of grew to about 10 staff. I ended up getting our own office and our own facility. And yeah, since then, we've sort of grown through referrals and people contacting us. And now we have just over 85, 90 staff working in the Philippines for us.
Wow, that's incredible. And I got to say, it's amazing. And again, this is us speaking off camera that I'm bringing into the interview. It's incredible because I remember some of the conversations I've been having with yourself, and of course, awesome Tremaine Murphy as well. Big shout out to Tremaine Murphy. Is that how you've actually taken awesome people from the Philippines? You're paying them way more than local rates, so you're actually helping build the developing world. That's a cool thing, Devang.
Yeah, and it just works. It's a win-win for both, for the staff there, for the clients here. And at the end of the day, I think if we pay them well and treat them well, like any other business, even here, they're going to stay longer. If they stay longer, the training cost is reduced, the recruitment cost is reduced. It's a win-win-win for everyone.
Yeah, I gotta say it's absolutely incredible. And now, before we dive into more your views of Corona and business, before the interview, you were telling me that, and I actually used to be into this as well, that you're into evening, nighttime photography as a side passion and side hustle. Now, as a content creator and influencer, I'm right into that. Tell us about your little photography side hustle.
I was always interested in photography. Didn't do much until a few years ago. But then, about 3-4 years ago, I started to dabble into it. And, I'll probably just take a drive during nighttime to the city. I love photographing the city, even the Dandenong Ranges. I do that. I like photography, but more importantly, I like it. I like doing it at night. We stopped at a town called Cuba PD, and there, it had the most clearest skies, and you could see the stars, you could see the Milky Way, and I did a slow, long shot photography, a shot where you can actually see the actual stars, how they move at night, and it was
Is it that amazing thing that just sort of twists around like that? Is that what's
That's right.
called?
That's the one.
Round thing? What is that?
So it's basically it's something where the actual lens of the camera is open for a span of 10, 15, 20 minutes, and it actually sees the stars moving around. So when the star is moving, it actually creates a line, and that's why you can see that line. You can see those circles going around. So
Wow.
yeah.
Very, very cool. And I got to say, Devang, you are an amazing, diverse, and successful character. And I was going to ask you
Thank you.
about, of course, and just for the sake of this interview, we're doing this interview in early May 2020. The corona crisis has reached its peak and stuff is opening again. But I was going to say, Devang, what do you think of corona and how has it impacted your business and your reality?
Look, it's definitely a dent I feel to a lot of businesses, including us, because we have a contact center here based in Melbourne, and we've had to let a lot of our staff go at the towards the end of March. But on the other hand, it's helped us grow our Philippine side of the business because businesses now want, they've seen that working from home is possible, so they've ended up hiring more staff with us. Uh, and I think, look, for us, it's obviously a net growth for us as a business. But I think it's going to teach people to do businesses and people to do things a little bit differently. I think efficiencies are going to kick in. Uh, they're going to try to, it's just you're going to have to work with the internet. You're going to have to leverage technology to get the best out of your business. And I think working from home is going to be a big thing from now onwards. I mean, I feel that traveling to work for an hour and then back home, spending 2.5 hours on travel a day. Sometimes I feel that it's a complete waste, at least in some roles. And you could, a person could save that time and spend the time with the family or just save the energy.
It's funny you say that because where I was thinking, I think you actually connected with them on LinkedIn. I was speaking to my friend Zain Jafar yesterday from Dubai,
Yes.
and we had a great interview. And he just said exactly what you said. He even turned around and said, "Ed, I don't believe in offices." Like he's actually based in Dubai, running his business in Australia, and he goes, "Ed, I don't believe in offices, and I think a lot of businesses are going to start realizing that." Big offices aren't necessary and they're going to save a lot of money. And that feeds into exactly what you're saying, isn't it, Devang?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, the sheer fact that, and it's not applicable to everyone, but the sheer fact that you have to get up in the morning, get dressed, um, get to a certain workplace at 9 o'clock. Uh, you don't have to do that if you have the internet. For example, we're on video right now. You don't have to do that. So if you can save those 2, 3 hours a day, I think you can spend that time with the family or just not do anything, just read a book or something.
Actually speaking to one of my friends who works for Macquarie Bank, and she's in the property division. So she does like property and investments, which I know nothing about. And what she was telling me that was absolutely fascinating is that what they're predicting as Corona comes out is a lot of companies are going to realize exactly what you said. Working from home is so good, we don't need as big a business premises. We can reduce our real estate footprint to make our business more efficient. I bet you're seeing that already, Devang.
We are not just office. I mean, we don't even need as many cars on the road. A family who has 2 cars may be able to do with just one car. Obviously, it depends on individual circumstances, but it's going to bring about a lot of change. Now, this change could have been done otherwise by us human beings, but I think we just needed this jolt to exactly tell us that, hey, it is possible, try it out. And, people have been doing this now for about 7, 8 weeks, 6 weeks now. And at the start, yes, people did not like it or they found it hard to adjust. But now I think a lot of people have adjusted.
Yeah, it's funny that because, as you know, we run a lot of our networking events. Actually, we run our networking events over Zoom now, right?
I know. I've
If
seen
you
that.
said to me, "Oh, you've been," if you said to me 3 months ago, no. If you said to me 2 months ago, no. If you said to me 6 weeks ago, Ed, don't run your meetups face to face, run them over Zoom. I would have laughed at you, and I would have told you off for being stupid, right? And 6 weeks
Okay.
later, I'm now running Zoom networking events with over 50 people coming. So it's funny how so quickly
Yeah.
Corona's just changed the whole world and how we interacted. I mean, it's funny that because if you said to me this would have happened in 2 months, I would have laughed at you. But you're spot on. The Corona has been, as you said, that jolt that has just moved things along so quickly.
Yeah. And I hope that people don't go back to the old ways. You don't have to do everything from home, but I think I hope people think that there's a lot of efficiency attached to this new way of doing business, and I hope they adapt, and I hope we don't go back to the usual the usual driving to work every day at home. I mean, I did that for 20 years. Uh, it's just now that I've been working from home, and I think it's the best thing to happen for us.
Yeah. Well, it's funny actually. I don't know about you, but the first week of Corona, I put on a lot of weight, but now I've lost it all, and I'm now slightly slimmer than before Corona started. But that was a journey like that. How did you go at the start? Did you just launch an attack on the fridge the first week? Because that's what I did.
Oh
I just
yes,
went in the fridge.
I'm only putting on weight. That losing phase hasn't arrived as yet for me.
But you're a skinny, handsome Indian guy. So and I just have to
Skinny.
say, for the sake of our viewers, so I know our viewers are thinking this. Your moustache is incredible. It's very. Do you know Tom Selleck, the American actor?
Yes.
He's one of my favorite actors ever, and I got to say, your moustache is incredible. Do you hear that often? Because I think your moustache is awesome. Do you hear that a lot, Devang?
Not often, but I've heard about it. Like I've had people on the road, strangers, come up to me and said, "Mate, that's a cracking mustache." Hasn't happened often, but yeah, it has happened. So yeah,
It's funny. Whenever I grow facial hair, I start looking very Middle Eastern very, very quickly. So I try and
right.
shave, so I still sort of look like the savvy-ish Middle Eastern guy. No, I'm gonna say it's really good, Devang. And I was gonna ask you actually. I love where you're going, and I love your ideas. Devang, what is your top parts of advice and thinking to help our viewers across the world, be it ones who run complex businesses or those from work from home? What are your top bits of advice to help people not only survive Corona, but also thrive coming out of Corona on the other end?
Um, I think first of all, this is a time when you can really plan as to what you want to do moving forward, coming out of Corona. So use this time wisely. And if someone's in business, then I think planning is the best thing that you can do. I think a successful business needs two things. One is superb planning and flawless execution. And I think if you stick to that, you'll generally do well. Uh, yeah, I mean, I was so busy with work that a lot of the times I couldn't even plan, uh, you know, a few months ahead. But now, staying at home, I think I find it a lot more efficient. I have a things to do list and I just cruise past it. And sometimes I end up working more hours than I should or more hours than I would normally. But that's fine, because I'm saving the 2-3 hours a day of traveling. So it's okay. But yes, I mean, I think right now just plan as to what you want to do moving forward, and after once you're back to working, I think it's just a flawless execution for business owners.
Oh, extremely well said, Devang. And I was going to say a big thank you. And as we bring this awesome interview to a close, and I can't wait till we upload it and share it with our community, what is your one key closing thought for people around the world? What do you want to leave people with?
Um, I think the one thing that I want to say is that you know in everything that we do, the one thing that is constant is our family, and I'm only saying that from my personal experiences that I'm at time. But then staying at home made me realize that all these things are going to change. Work, business goes up and down. But the one thing that is constant is your family, and I think you have to keep things in perspective. You need to know that okay, this is constant, and everything else around will come and go. but it's a family which I now look at it very differently. Not just now. I mean, I started doing that over the last 4 or 5 years, but this time of staying at home, I realized that businesses can go up and down, but the one thing that is constant is the family. So absolutely value that, and don't ever take that for granted.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. And if anything, Corona has brought a lot of families together, including my own. And that's definitely, again, there's been a lot of fallout from Corona, but that is an obvious upside.
Yeah, that's true.
Devang, I gotta say, it's great having you with us. How can people get in contact with you?
They can either go to my LinkedIn profile and send me a message, or call me if they need virtual assistance, or just any advice in terms of business. Yeah.
It's a pleasure. And of course, I don't want to let any secrets out of the bag, or do I? But I just want to ask you, where are you going from here? What secret stuff are you working on, Devang? And what have you got coming out in the future?
I've got no secret stuff working right now. I'm fully focused on the business and the family. So yeah, I'm just happy. I've always wanted to have a business that I could run from home. So I'm actually living my dream right now. So yeah, I'm very content and I'm very satisfied right now.
Devang, all I can say is you're an admirable caricature of success, and it's something that I think is absolutely inspiring. Devang, I just want to say a big thank you for being on our show. I just want to say we appreciate you on many levels, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to come and say hello.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on this interview. It's been an absolute pleasure. I see all your posts, and yeah, I mean, I'm a bit scared with the video, but here I am. I'm doing it. So thank you.